Okay, as promised, thought I would do one. This one's gonna be a little different because I haven't played with this one as much. I do know some of the things on it, and it's not as what's the word I'm looking for? It's not as complicated, but yet it still is complicated. If that makes sense. I'm gonna zoom in just a little bit here. This one is called, as you can see right here, Palindrome. Okay, Palindrome /14 Palindrome. I'm not sure why. I think that 14 is just the track number, by the way, in here. But the actual app is called, or plugin, I should say, is called Palindrome. And Palindrome is like, well, how could I describe this one? I don't want to say it's I don't want to say that Palindrome is a granular effect plugin, but in a way I kind of do want to say that, because mind you, all these things are glitch machines. Some of them are just effects, and some of them are samplers. So this is another sampler, like what's the other one I did? Cataract 2 is a sampler. Yeah, it's kind of a scanner sampler. So you put in your samples and scan. This one has 4, by the way, 4 samples that you can do. So here's your tabs at the top. And then each sample has a start, size, patch. Fine, you can load them. And then down here you have like the rate, the sync, the view, and the mode. And so like if you click this, you'll see this weird thing show up here, right? And what it does is it travels to each point. So you can move these around too, you see here, and make them do weird stuff and create your own abstract. This looks like some art stuff that I never knew how to do. It really does though. It looks just like that. So you can like move stuff around, create your own unique patterns here. And then I'm gonna put this one like over here. So you don't have so far to travel. But let's look at the presets. So there's all these presets right here. And I know you can't necessarily see each one. It's probably a little blurry. I'm using my phone to record. But if you click one, you'll see each one has a sample that goes with it, but it also has an abstract path that it travels. They call it a path, by the way. You see right here, path. Okay, here's your global settings. So your main settings there. And I believe, if I'm not mistaken, each one of these are preset, say like where you can save a preset, I believe. I may be wrong on that. These are different shapes they have built for you. And then you can, of course, do your own. You can also sync it to the DAW. Like instead of using a rate here, just sync it to the DAW. So if the DAW is at 70, it'll play. So I have nothing in here right now, but we'll just use 70 to show you. So if I press a button, you'll see it travels. And this one's traveling real random like. So here's another sample, here's another sample, here's the name of the sample. And you can switch those samples and put your own samples in, which is cool. Let's pick something different. Bouncing bits. See how it bounces? This one bounces from, and I'm not moving that. I'm just pressing a note on the keyboard. I'm pressing multiple notes. So when you see them going out like that, so if I just hit one, it's just one note. So that's crazy in itself. Let's try to put some interesting samples in. I'm gonna go find, where's my drums? Here, I'm gonna use cymatics stuff. And the reason why is because I think it will be easier for me to get multiple samples. So we'll use, I wanna use something different each time. So I'm gonna pick like the ocean waves one, drop it in. On sampler 2, I'm gonna pick something that is like a hi-hat loop, something different. On sample 3, I'm gonna pick like a guitar loop. Yep, that'll work. I'm just picking random samples. And the reason I'm doing that is because if you put some strategy to it, I'm sure it could get, but I want it to sound really, let's get a melody, a trap melody or something. All right, that'll work, whatever. All right, so here we go. We got 4 samples in. So you can change the pitch of a sample, the size of it, where it starts. And you can do that with each sample. So this is more granular, I would say. And when you move this, then it does that. Now let's take it off a sync and let's show you like a rate. So I'm gonna pick, instead of, let's see if we can switch. These are in hertz. I was trying to see if it was, I thought you could switch. Right now it's showing hertz. I was for sure you could do, let's switch the thing to something else. Time shifter. Okay, so we'll have to put some new samples in, which is fine. I'll just drop in some random stuff. Let's go here. So if you change the, if you want to keep, I'm gonna put a drum loop in. If you want to keep your, that one says cymatic, so I need to change this one. If you want, let's do something weird like a bass. These are like one shots. Let's do like a one shot 808, see what that does. Oh my gosh. So you can go in and adjust the mix on it, which I highly suggest. As you can see, that thing is loud. Maybe turn it down. I'm gonna zoom in so you can see a little bit more. Maybe you can get a little bit more of a closer, and I'll move this around a little bit to help you. So you can see up top, your 4 samples, you got your start, you got all these options to do. You can change it whether it's gonna be rectangular. By the way, you can move this too, so that the pattern is a little. How much of the feed you want. Pitch it. Once you pick the folder that it's coming from, you'll notice like I can go through them. So or you can change the pattern. There's different modes here too of how you want it to play. This must be the random one because it literally is going all over the place here, which I kind of like actually. Sorry if you got a little shaking, it's because my hands are on the table and I'm playing. So that is interesting. And these are your effects. So you have a delay, a ring, a drive. And it looks like you can have 2 effects going at a time. So let's try to put that on and do some cutting. So that's what this is. These are your effects right here. You can run 2 effects at a time. You can pick which effects you want. Let's try, I don't know what this is. And mind you, all the samplers are moving at the same time. So you have different things going on with each sampler. So you got to figure out, here's your global, what you're going to do with your global. Then you're going to look over here, you're going to figure out where I want this one to start. How big the size will be, I guess. And then the pitch. Whether you want to pan parts. This allows you to mute a part out. Because maybe you put in 4 and you just, well, I don't really like this one, so I want to. I actually like this better without that. So you can mute it and then maybe even switch out the sample and put something else in. Ooh. I'm not gonna lie, some of that sounds pretty weird, but I like it for some reason. I'll dig it. Okay, so now we have a rate here. So if you want to change it, slow the rate down to 4 bars, it'll go. So the question is definitely a random where it's going to go. Let me see what view does. Not sure. Maybe it changes the view when you have dots. But if you're in random mode, I imagine. And this is moving in sync with the actual. So this thing is kind of it's a sampler, but it's like a granulizer slash. I don't even know how to describe this thing, yo. But I like it. I think it's kind of cool. And I think if you play with it and you come up with some cool sounds, you might be able to come up with a nice textural background sound. So this one's not looping. I thought it would, if you run all of them, so you have an amp envelope down below. You can see that attack, release. This is your global. Then you have your master right here. These two, which is an amp and a pitch. And then you have the reverb. So you can adjust your reverb. You could always turn all this, probably turn off the reverb by just turning off the mix. Or turning off the size, I guess. But, man, this is nuts. So these determine how long it takes to get to wherever it's got to go. Man, this thing is abstract. Okay, so that's Palindrome. I think that's how they pronounce it, Palindrome. You can see it right there. And that was, yeah, that thing is intense. Now, out of my favorites of them, this one's interesting, but I think I like Cataract better. I like the scanning a lot better. I do love granular, but I use a different thing for the granular stuff. This one's a bit more over my head as far as my use case for it. it's really wild. I think I would be just throwing stuff in and hoping for the best. That sounds crazy, but it's true. But they got a ton of presets, so you can always play with their samples and see if you can come up with something you like, or you can throw your own in, mix them in with theirs. It's up to you. I wouldn't put 808 in, but let's just do a quick, this will be the last thing I do, and then we'll end it here. But I was thinking if I grab a sample, like a sample. I guess we're going back to cymatic stuff. Where is the cymatics? I'm just using this for the purpose of examples. That's all. You don't have to use cymatic stuff. So you could have one going with this mode. Let's say the 2. I don't know if the 2 can be the 1 and then go back. No, I guess that stays. So this must affect it. This now lets me know this is a global. Everything down here below is global. Each sample can be tweaked up here, but this is going to be global. So whatever you put down here at the bottom is going to affect all of them, whether it syncs. Oh, good Lord. Okay, so this is very granular because when I'm moving the size, it's changing how much of the... See, if I put it all the way up, you get more of it. It starts micro. But if you don't like that one, you can either draw your own or use one of theirs. And every drawing changes the sound, how much of what's going to play. So it really gets wild. And then if you just want to go free, you could put one in, like let's put that one in, but leave it in the free mode. And then it's going to go all over the place. And because you're in a DAW, you can do stuff too. Like if you like that sound, you're like, oh, that's cool, but I'm bored because there's not enough effects on it. You can always go in and use your own effects or use some more of their effects. So let's throw in, I think Tactic is one. No, Tactic is a sequencer. So I just messed myself up. Hold on a second. Let me go Command Z. That'll put back what we had. I'm trying to remember which one. Hysteria? Is Hysteria? Yeah, Hysteria is a... So, like, Hysteria is one of their... I think it's a free one, too, by the way, Hysteria. So, you could go in and... Well, let's sync that. There's a delay in here. There's a filter. Or use a preset. Let's try a preset. So Hysteria is free, and that's that. I'm gonna just grab something that's totally not their stuff. Like let's do Valhalla Shimmer. So anything you do is gonna be it's gonna be fun like that. Anyway, man, that's it for this one. I just wanted to show you this thing is nuts. And it's definitely there's a reason why they're called glitch machines. I mean, they definitely glitch stuff and make it very glitchy, for lack of better words. All right, so that is it for this. Just wanted you to see it. I got to get out of here. I'll see you on the next one. I'll try to show you some more. Maybe on the next one, I'll do go through some of the effects that they have, just so you can see. I think there's at least 3 or 4 samplers. I showed you 2 of them. Cataracts and Palindrome is 2 of their samplers. There's 4 or 5 effects that you can get. I told you there's 11 that I know of total. And like I said, if you get them on sale, grab them while they're on sale. That's worthy. All right, that's it for this video.